Winds coming out of the east. Notice our wind flow kind of pushing that air from the eastern Gulf into the western, and that's going to bring some surges of moisture across our area, especially along our coastal parishes. It's not until we get closer to maybe early part of next week we're going to see what could be a developing area of low pressure here lift towards the north, and that could deliver some inland moisture to create some increasing rain chances. But notice as quickly as it moves in and starts to exit, and we see some drier air by the tail end of next week. So bottom line, we're going to see some fluctuations in rain chances. Mainly dry to conclude this week, and then early part of next week, Sunday into Monday. Slight chance of rain occurring, better rain opportunities as you go closer to the coast, because that's where a lot of the moisture is going to be residing. So these rain chances really for inland areas. As you go closer to the coast, expect those rain chances to be a bit higher. Here's a kind of example of that here with Futurecast. You can see how we have these rains out here in the Gulf, and they're going to continue to sweep from east to west. We'll have a few showers inland for today, but mainly spotty to isolated at best. But here comes this persistent rain shield that is expected to impact extreme southeastern Louisiana through the course of the rest of this week and over the weekend. But notice how it doesn't make much progress inland. So because of that, rain chances kind of a bit of a gradient. We're going to be seeing mainly dry conditions inland, and then along the coast we'll see lots of rainfall. So if you have plans to maybe head down to areas like Grand Isle, Port Fourchon, things like that over the course of the weekend, you're going to have some rain to contend with, as well as some elevated winds. But once we get towards Saturday into Sunday, you're going to notice the moisture starting to stream a bit farther towards the north, that as we could see a developing area of low pressure. And as that moves inland into Sunday and Monday, we'll start to see some of those showers start to spread inland. So because we're going to see this persistent chance of seeing rainfall along the immediate coast, you can see how our rainfall estimation is going to be fairly high in those locations. Multiple inches of rain over the course of the next 7 days. 2 to 4 inches being projected kind of along and south of the New Orleans area. And then as you go towards Metro Baton Rouge, we're closer in line to maybe half of an inch to a quarter of an inch of rainfall. So on average, along and north of the interstate corridor, less than a half of an inch of rainfall. As you go along and south of the interstate corridor, rainfall amounts start to get a bit higher. But in terms of flood concerns, that's going to be staying highlighted. Extreme southeastern Louisiana may infringe on portions of New Orleans as we head through the weekend and the early part of next week, and then that starts to spread towards coastal Mississippi and Alabama as we get towards Sunday into Monday. But again, no flood threat for us here locally, as we'll have manageable rainfall totals in our forecast. So out in the tropics, we said goodbye to Imelda today. It has now become a post-tropical cyclone, keeping our eyes on this puff of clouds right here near the Bahamas and the east side of Florida, and then one that hasn't even emerged off the coast of Africa right now. Those are the two features that the National Hurricane Center continues to track right now. Low end chances of development. The one out here in the eastern Atlantic is going to take many days to possibly even form, if it does. And then this one, it's not going to have much time to develop. It's going to scoot across the peninsula of Florida, move into the northeastern Gulf, and then eventually move inland. So it could be tied to our area of low pressure we're expecting as we go into the beginning part of next week, but we'll be back inland by the time we get towards Monday or Tuesday. So limited time frame for this, and right now low end probabilities of possibly becoming a tropical cyclone. So when we look at the list of names, next on is Jerry and then Karen. So we'll keep our eyes out for if either of these systems can become that next named storm, or potentially even both. But right now it looks like those chances would be fairly low. So for us, 90 for your daytime high today. With the moisture levels starting to increase, it's actually going to bring about more cloud cover, and that's why we'll shave off a few degrees in terms of afternoon temperature. So daytime highs to conclude the week expected to be in the mid to upper 80s as we elevate rain chances on Sunday, able to shave off a few more degrees in terms of that daytime high down to 84. But we're going to start to dry the atmospheric column back out as we go into the beginning part of next week. So you can see how those daytime highs start to creep back towards that 90-degree mark, especially by Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. So not quite done with the heat just yet.